Hello YouTubers, you're back here with Shavron, and tonight I'm going to be showing you a new deck that I've been working on. It's probably not new to the world, but I've only just recently picked up on it myself. Essentially, a friend of mine asked me if a Invoked Crusadia deck would be good because he seemed to be having fun with it, and more I thought about it. Really big thing in the meta right now is Nibiru, and for combo decks you need a way to play around it. And I thought, well, if you could get Macabre out early, maybe you could see the Nibiru and stop him from hitting the floor. And another big thing about Invoke, it does help you for going first. It gives you negate options, and it really does push for the OTK with the whole Book of Law play, or before going in for the OTK with the Equal Max, you drop down your Macabre to help push for the OTK and negate anything that's going to come down onto him. So I play the 4 Kaijus. I don't play the 5th one in this build, mainly because there is the 5th one was making a chance of break too high for me. I don't want to be opening double Kaijus with this type of deck build, because I'm already looking for cards like Alistair or Magical Meltdown. Opening the Invocation can be bad at times, but I will be showing you in a replay where I drew into the Invocation going second, and I was still able to make Macabre and make the OTK by going into Alistair the Meltdown and using him as the because his name turns into Alistair the Invoker, which is a requirement for the fusions while he's in on field or grave. So before you going into Ecomax, you go into Alistair the Invoker of Madness, and then you go into Ecomax, then you use Invocation using him and a Magnus to go into your Macabre, giving you the negate play, and Macabre will give your Equal Max a lot of damage. And say you've already searched the field spell, the revival off the Regulix, so your Equal Max is just swinging for big damage, and you have a Macabre just saying, hey, I'm gonna negate anything that tries to stop this. So yeah, and I play almost maximum Crusadia lineup. I drop one Leonis. I think he's the weakest one out of the out of all the Crusadias. He's usually the first target I drop. Draco's too good for the rotation. Abora just helps with saving from destruction effects. Maximus is just there for great. He just pushes for the OTK. He doubles battle damage over your opponent. And Regulus, Reclusia should not be cut. He'll help you break through floodgates, help you break through, say you verse pendulums and they open Secret Village. He becomes one of your outs to be able to break through that. So yeah, I was at 41 cards. I wanted to make the cut, so Leonis had to go. I am not playing Reinforcer of the Army because it's already very tight in the main board. So 3 Alice to the Invoke. For my hand trap, I did choose Ash. Ash is just your standard hand trap to go for. I would play Nibiru. I'll probably end up playing Nibiru on the side to help going second against certain decks, but in the main board, I just thought Ash would just be better overall to use. 3 Pot of Desires. I want maximum craziness with this deck, because why not? The Terraforming, 2 Invocations. Would play 1, that could be the cut, but I am kind of scared of Invocation getting banished, because there's a lot of like Cosmic Cyclones laying around at the moment, and a lot of cards that can banish. I would like the option to be able to go into more Invoke plays if the game does decide to prolong further than Crusadias can usually handle. So it gives me an option to still win in the mid game by using the Invoke engine. The Book of Law really can push for the OTK, so you end up changing Macabre into, say, Purgatrio and just hit for a lot more damage, which can go pretty crazy. 3 Cyclones are just, it really helps running the Cyclones. You can deal with your floodgates. You just bait out Crescendos, bait out Roars. I always prefer Cosmics over the Callbar Grave. I just feel like it's always helped me much more. 1 of each of the Crusadia main spells, which is your Testament, Power and Revival, and then your 3 Magical Meltdowns. For my extra deck, I am not keen on my ratios yet. I am not sure how I'm going to take this. I feel like I can cut 1 Regulix and 1 Equal down. The only problem about cutting them to down to 1 is if your OTK fails the first time, you don't have a way to re-engage that OTK play. But by cutting them, it does give you more options to run different links that could deal with certain situations. Almirage is there for the Alistair play, because you end up linking Alistair into Almirage, allowing you to open up Crusadia plays that way. So it is much needed to run it. You have to pretty much run it in this deck to make Alistair work with the Crusadia. 3 Magnus, 2 so the 2 Regulix, 1 Melt Madness, because it really can help, and then fetching your Book of Law for the extra OTK push is always an option there. Phoenix to deal with back row when needed. 2 Ecomax, then your Avramax. I haven't had the need to go onto him yet, but I feel like he could be a last resort play that I could end up using at some point. Still play testing this deck, so everything's fair go right now. If you have any if you've played this deck before, or see any options I can take and swap, let me know in the comments below. I will look over it and test it myself many times to see how to end up so to help me decide where to finalize how this deck's going to be, pretty much. Purgatorio, pretty much there. It has to be there. He's a very good invoke card, can clear board on his own, like insanely, just say hello, bye. Radiant's just there because he does help with the while during other players' turn, flip a face up monster, face down defense. You can stop blink plays, stop a lot of plays with it. And your Macabre, he is staple for invoke, and he is just there to say, hey, I'm gonna negate everything. I do have a replay I'd like to show on how this deck pretty much ended up going, so I'll quickly load this one up and I'll try and talk through some situations that I end up going through. So I'm pretty sure I won the dice roll, and I just said you can go first. This is actually against the local Pendulum player. We always call him free win, but he's not bad of it. He's actually a pretty good player. We just like give him crap about it. So here, draw the invocation. He didn't seem like he had the greatest hand, but I felt like even if he opened a little bit better, I did have the Kaiju in hand. I've Cosmic and Pot of Desires. I could force the negate out with that, and Invocation's just there to go nuts when I need it. So I'll show you how I play this. I do throw out the Cosmic Cyclone as a negate bait, which he falls for, and then I just end up chucking it over Jackal King, giving him no hope of negating afterwards. Then I make standing plays here. So here I will I search for the field spell and get an extra Crusadia back with the Draco to be able to extend plays. And this is where I desire to see what other options I get. And here, this is where I go to Alistair the Madness. It's just so I could use it for invocation after I link off with him. And returning the Crusadia back off the Draco gives me the option to still go into Ecomax. So I go into Ecomax now, and this is where I drop Macabre and field spell. So at this point, Ecomax is insane damage off the Kaiju and Macabre. I'll be able to OTK fairly easy, even if he had a chance to try and stop it. I do have Macabre to try and just sit there and say no, and on top of that, I do have Crusadia power to stop it even further. So this is pretty much a guaranteed OTK. And yeah, I just wanted to show you what this deck can do on a just off the one replay. I will be play testing more. I'll most likely take this deck to the locals this weekend to see how much how good this deck can go against the current meta. As I said before, my locals is very meta base heavy. We see a lot of Orcus, a lot of Sky Strikers, pretty much a lot of everything there. So I'm really looking forward to see how well this deck goes, and I'll keep you guys updated on how successful it ends up being, and I'll definitely be keeping you guys updated on the changes I make. So yeah, if you have any opinions or anything you'd like to add to this deck, even if you've tried it before, let me know. I am actually enjoying this deck at the moment. The safety in this Macabre gives Crusadia to help with the OTK seems to be great. I've even had games where I've just dropped a Regulix and then Macabre actually becomes the 5th summon. So I'll quickly explain how this ends up going. So you normal summon Alistair, searching your invocation, you link into Amirage, that's your 2 summons, then you use both of them to go into your Regulix, and then off the with the Regulix, you special summon. So the Regulix is 4 summons, sorry. So you got Alistair being 1, Amirage being the 2nd, the special summon of the Crusadia under the Amirage being the 3rd, and then Regulix is your 4th summon. Then when you use invocation, you drop Makaba as the 5th summon underneath him, which will give you protection from Nibiru, and then you'll be able to add the field spell off Regilex to be able to try and push for the OTK if it's possible. So yeah, that's another way you can look at how to start up your turn, which has worked out for me before. And yeah, the worst brick I've seen so far is I opened 2 Kaijus with the Invocation and say 1 Crusadia and a Cosmic, and I couldn't do anything off that hand. But every deck has a chance to brick, I should say, and the chance of me opening a hand that bad is kind of low. So I'll definitely keep you guys updated on how I go, and yeah, please let me know if you have any opinions. I'll see you guys next time, and if you guys like the video, please subscribe and like and subscribe. That would help me great, and I'll definitely see you guys next time. See you.